Greetings, everybody, and once again, welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field in Hutchinson, Kansas. This time for Hutchinson Community College Baseball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. This afternoon, game number 4, the fourth and final game of this Jayhawk West series between the Hutchinson Blue Dragons and the Garden City Broncbusters. Steve Carpenter with you from a still very chilly Hobart-Detter Field. We'll check the temperature. It was 33 degrees at first pitch in game number 1. It improved to 35 by game's end, and as my phone does a quick update here, it is still 35 degrees. 7:30 this morning, this field was completely covered in snow, but the tarp did its job. The infield stayed dry, and about 11:30, the snow was just about gone out of the grass areas, and we got going at 2 o'clock, and Hutchinson won the first game by the score of 5-3. Miguel Reyes won his 5th game for Hutchinson. Dayton Lane his 4th save. Eric Hyman took the loss. And controversial end to game number 1 as Garden City had runners at the corners and 1 out. And Ty Barkley hit a ground ball to third baseman Wyatt Divis, who went to second for a force as the Dragons tried to turn the game-ending double play. And as second baseman Logan Sartori fielded the ball, Clint Allen slid into him. Nothing malicious or anything like that, but home plate umpire Todd Sigwig rang him up on interference, automatic double play, and that's how the game ended. So the Dragons have the first 3 games of this series. Now we get set for the finale. It is Dylan Nedved making his first career start for Hutchinson. And he will be opposed by left-hander Kendrick Catrone. So let's get you the game 2 lineups as the Dragons get set to take the field. Real quickly, the lineup for Garden City. Leading off will be the center fielder Clint Allen, batting second at first base, Robbie Young. Batting third, catcher Ty Barkley. Batting fourth, the designated hitter and 11 home runs on the year, Corbin Truslow. Batting fifth will be third baseman Chris Lara. Batting sixth, playing right field, Darian Burns. Batting seventh at shortstop, Ty Lightly. Batting eighth and playing left field, Russell Cruz. Batting ninth will be the second baseman, Griffin Brunson. And Kendrick Catrone, the left-hander, on the mound. Catrone's record is 0-1. He's making his 3rd start, 4th appearance overall, a 3.0 ERA. For the Blue Dragons, they'll line it up like this. Logan Sartori at second base, Dylan Nedved at pitcher, Wyatt Divis at third base, Bobby Morganson in left field, Zach Baxley at first base, Brock Schaefer at center field, Zion Bolin in right field, Scott Wolverton, the catcher, bats 8th, and Craig Williams bats 9th at shortstop. So the Dragons playing a straight 9, and Dylan Nedved makes his first start of the year. Nedved, 6'2", 185-pound freshman out of Shawnee, Kansas. 10th appearance overall. He's 2-0 with 2 saves, no ERA, 10 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs. None of those runs earned. He has struck out 10 and walked 3. And opponents hitting 179 against. So the Dragons and the Busters, and Dylan Nedved starts off a strike at first pitch at 4:17 to Clint Allen. Allen 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a stolen base in game number 1. Pitch fouled off his foot, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Did they not call him a foul ball? That's what I thought. So, 0-2 to Allen. Allen he was the culprit in that game-ending double play. If he would have been called out on that, he would have Did they call it? So they didn't call it off his foot. He goes to Divis. It's a 5-3 putout. I thought the home plate umpire called that. That's ball 1 to Young. Not a lot of argument from the Busters either. I could swear it went off his foot. Now 1-0 to Young. Nedved's pitch is right through there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Young in the first game had a 2-run single. He's 12 for 4 now in the series. 1 for 4 in the opener. Nedved Bounces that pitch in, and it's 2-1. Young coming in, hit 376. And, the Garden City radio announcer, Mike Pilosoff, asking the same questions. We thought it hit off his foot. There's a fly ball well hit to center. Drifting back is Brock Schaefer to the track, and he makes the catch just to the right of the flagpole, and there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. No wind here at Hobart-Detter. Again, 35 degrees the first pitch. Only 1 of 2 conference series going. Butler came back to defeat Colby 5-4 in their 7-inning game at McDonald Stadium in El Dorado. Here's Ty Barkley, the catcher. A little bit low, ball 1. Barkley in the first game, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Barkley now 2 for 8 in the series, a double and an RBI. Everybody in the press box still talking about Clint Allen and if the ball hit him in the foot or not. Pitched inside, and it's 2-0. I thought so. The red shirts to my left, and Denny Steckline thought so, and Mike Pilosoff, the Garden City radio announcer, thought so. But we don't have the final say. 3-0 now, pitch a little bit low. So Nedved has retired the first 2 batters he's faced. Now it's 3-0 on Barkley. The pitch. It cripples right in there for a strike, 3-1. The decision to start Nedved was made early in the week. And with the split schedule like it is, Dillon could close and then start 2 days later, strike at the knees, 3-2. Nedved's longest outings is just 2 innings, so here's 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Just a little bit outside, a 2-out walk to Barkley. And now it's 2 out, 1 on for Corbin Truslow. 11 home runs, 53 RBIs for Truslow for the season. Truslow was 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in game number 1. Truslow now 3 for 8 in the series. And he takes ball 1 from Nedved. So in the first start for Nedved. Here's the pitch. Strike outside corner. 1-1 the count. The Dragons pitching very carefully to Truslow. We got a lot of pop. Hadn't seen many fastballs. Another pitch from Nedved. That fastball's low. And when they have delivered, they haven't been close to the zone. I was listening while the Garden City crew was setting up. They had some audio highlights and heard several of Truslow's 11 home runs being called by Mike Pilosoff. The pitch. Hard hit ball past the diving Zach Baxley in the right field. Barkley will make the turn, head to third. The throw will come into second. It's a 2-out single for Truslow. It's runners at the corners, 2 away for third baseman Chris Lara. Lara in the opener went 0 for 3. 0 for 11 in the series now with a couple of strikeouts. Here's the pitch from Nedved. Curveball swung on and missed. That was a very nasty slider. Outfield straight away and deep for Lara. The pitch. Fouled at the plate. Nedved's up in the count very quickly, 0-2. Scott Wolverton getting the start behind the plate for the Blue Dragons in game number 2. Crit Williams at short. Those are the only 2 defensive changes. Wyatt Dibbs at third. Sartori at second. Baxley at first. Morganson, Schaefer, and Bolin in the outfield left to right. Fouled off to the right. Lara stays alive at 3-2. See if Scott Wolverton can continue his recent hitting. He had a couple of hits on Thursday. He's been in a terrible slump. The pitch fought off by Lara, and he stays alive. It was a nasty slider from Nedved that Laura just reached out and just got a piece of. Good piece of hitting. Truslow, we saw him score from first on a misplay in right field in the first game. 0-2. Called strike 3 outside corner, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left for Dylan Nedved in his first inning as a starter. After half inning, Garden City nothing, and the Dragons coming up. Dragons get their first look at lefty Kendrick Catrone. And the big lefty, 6'1", 170-pound sophomore out of Littleton, Colorado. Numbers on Catrone. Again, his third start, 4th overall appearance, 0-1 with a very good 3.00 ERA. Has just thrown 6 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So the Blue Dragons win their 4th in a row with that 5-3 win. They're now 21-15 overall, 13-10 in the Jayhawk West. Garden City now 2 games under 500 overall, 19-21, 5-14 in league play. In that first game, the Blue Dragons out-hit Garden City 8-4, but it was never a game where the Blue Dragons were comfortable. Miguel Reyes got the win, going 5 innings. He's 5-3. Dayton Lane got his 4th save, but it was a dicey second inning that he pitched. Here's Logan Sartori. Now a 5-game hitting streak for Sartori, 5 for 14 over that span. Sartori 1 for 4 in game number 1, now hitting .364 for the year, 7 home runs, 38 RBIs, and he goes first pitch hacking and fouls it straight back to the screen. Sartori in the series now, 3 for 11 with a couple of doubles, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. He drove in a run with a double in game number 1. And drives this one to right, drifting back is Burns. He's got it one away. We have been at Hobart-Detter Field this year where the wind has been atrocious. Wind now just starting to pick up a little bit. That's the most movement we've seen out of the flag all afternoon. But the ball normally has been carrying very well out of here this year. Not so much today with the cold weather. Now pitcher Dylan Nedved. Breaking pitch for a strike from Catrone, and it's 0-1. Nedved, 375 hitter. It's one to center field, playable though for Allen. He's got it 2 away. So far a 4-pitch inning for Catrone. 2 up and 2 down for Wyatt Divis. Div in game number 1, 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 home runs in the series. He had both of those at Williams Stadium on Thursday. Divis now hitting .390. His average dropped 10 points from game number 1. 9 home runs, ties for a team high. 31 RBIs. And that's second on the team. And he takes a strike at the knees. So Catrone coming in, pounding the zone for Garden City. Breaking pitch, strike called inside corner, 0-2. 31 degrees at first, or 33 degrees at first pitch of game number 1, 35 degrees at first pitch here in game number 2. The 0-2. just off the plate wide, 1-2 strikes. Temperature now up to a balmy 37. The crowd, what crowd's here, is bundled up and layered. Here's a 1-2. Breaking pitch, slice foul. A lot of changes for the Dragons in the order of this one, but defensively, only 2 defensive changes. The 1-2 pitch to Davis, and he got him swinging. Off speed, Davis swings through and misses. 3 up and 3 down for the Dragons in the first. We head to the second. No score. On to the second inning here at Hobart-Detter Field, the 90th year of existence of this grand old ballpark. No score through 1. It'll be Burns, Lightly, and Cruz here in the second against Dylan Nedved, who allowed a hit and 1 walk in his first inning as a starter. Darian Burns 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the first game. Strike called. That double was a misplay in right field by Zion Bolin, who moved in, and then he went to turn back to get it, and he slipped. If he doesn't slip, I still think he makes the play, but that wet grass may have caused the slip. A lot of snow on the grass this morning when the team got here. Just swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 to Burns. Ryan Schmidt has a before picture. He'll be posting it later on social media. Denny Steckline, right before the game, posted up the brilliant green of Hobart-Detter Field just before first pitch. Nedved's 0-2. Strike 3 inside corner. 3 pitches, 1 out. Second straight called third for Nedved, his second strikeout of the game. Now shortstop Ty Lightly, the batter. Lightly was 0 for 3 with a strikeout in game number 1. Lightly hitting .307 coming into the afternoon. He's 1 for 9 in the series. Nedved's pitch a little bit low, ball 1. So didn't get to ask Ryan Schmidt today. Again, he didn't get to come up here for a pregame because first priority was to get the field ready to get this conference doubleheader in. The pitch, tap foul, and it's 1-1. Don't know exactly if there's a pitch count on Dylan Nedved. Again, his first start. His longest outing in any single appearance was 2 innings. A wind in the pitch. Ground ball left side. Divis picks it off the shortstop, takes his time and pours it across. 2 away. Nice play by Div. Take it right off the shortstop. Then he set his feet, nor he'd have time. 2 up, 2 down. And now the left fielder, Russell Cruz. He did not play in the first game. Took over for an injured Alec Eskenazi, who injured himself on the bases. Chopper left side. Davis plays on, this time on a big hop. Fires it across, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Nedved in the second. Couple of good plays by Davis at third. Head to the bottom of the second. No score at Hobart-Detter Field. Dragons have taken the first three of this series with Garden City by the scores of 5-0, 9-8, and 5-3. They go after their first conference series sweep of the year and their 8th consecutive win over Garden City over the last 2 seasons. Bobby Morganson to lead it off. He broke a 1 for 16 and a 3 for 24 with a home run to right field in the 5th inning. Bobby now hitting .317 for the year, a team high tying 9 home runs and 27 driven in. Facing a lefty for the first time in this series. Breaking pitch from Kendrick Catrone misses low, ball 1. Bobby against lefties last year just tore them up. Pitch inside, 2-0. As a freshman, Bobby Morganson hit .380 against left-handed pitching. This year, Morganson is, let me get to the right page here, still hitting well at .344 against lefties. Now 3-0 to Morganson. Here's the pitch. 4-pitch walk to start the second. Morganson walks for the 31st time this year. That's a team high. So Morganson, 32 strikeouts, now 31 walks, and Zach Baxley will be the batter. Zach at .307 with 27 total hits, 3 home runs, 21 driven in. Runner at first, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Zach showing bunt, gets it down, will be fielded by the pitcher Catrone. Looks at second, but then goes on to first, a 1-3 sacrifice. And now Morganson moves up to second with one away for center fielder Brock Schaefer. Schaefer went 2 for 2 with a walk, a couple of singles in game number 1. Schaefer now has gotten the average above 300 at .302. He's one of 10 Blue Dragons hitting 10 or with 300 or better. 4 home runs, 17 driven in. Strike called. Schaefer now in the series is 6 for 9 with 3 runs, 1 home run, 1 RBI. So he's had a very good hitting series. Schaefer was down in the mid-240s about 2.5 weeks ago. Hard hit ball, foul. Toby Cornell refuses to make a move on it. And Schaefer down in the count, 0-2. Again, the base coaches today on this cold afternoon. Third base coach Jamel Cervantes, first base coach Toby Cornell, toughing it out in the short sleeves. The 0-2 to Schaefer. Slider way outside. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to the Dragons center fielder. Schaefer in the first game of the series went 2 for 3 and then had a big home run in the comeback on Thursday afternoon, the 9-8 Hutch win. Slices that one foul, and Schaefer stays alive at 1-2. His home run came in the 8th inning and drew the Blue Dragons to within 8-7. They had trailed 8-4 after 6 innings, then scored the final 5 runs of the game, eventually taking the lead on Wyatt Davis' sac fly. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball left side, fielded by the shortstop, and now bad base running as Morganson went ahead of the play and then got tagged out by third baseman Chris Lara at third. So a base running blunder by the Dragons. Good play by Lively. He had to go into the hole, made the backhanded stop. Bobby Morganson was easy pickings from that point. So bad base running mistake cost the Dragons a runner in scoring position. Now Schaefer at first, 2 away for right fielder Zion Bolin. First pitch swing, foul back to the parking lot. Fundamentally, you're taught never to run on the base paths with the ball hit in front of you. And that was the clear case with Morganson. Zion Bolin had a 2-run single, a big blast. That gave the Dragons a 4-1 lead. The runner goes, pitches a strike to throw down, and it's a stolen base for Schaefer. Brock steals his third of the year in 4 attempts. That in the series for Hutchinson, just their second steal. 0-2 count now to Bowen. And I'll take a 2-out knock with a runner in scoring position to get the Dragons on top. Got him swinging on an off-speed pitch. Bowen strikes out to end the inning. So Garden City works around the leadoff walk to Morganson. After 2, there's no score. Score update from McDonald Stadium in El Dorado. Colby scores 1 in the top of the first. Take a 1-0 lead over Butler. Colby's won the first two games of that series. Butler rallied with a late comeback earlier today to win 5-4. So that outcome didn't help the Blue Dragons in terms of the league standings. We'll get into that this half inning as second baseman Griffin Brunson steps in. Only 2 league series going today because of the weather. Swing and a miss from Brunson, and it's nothing in 1. Brunson 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in the first game. Brunson now 2 for 7 in the series. Nedved, the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Nedved is matched through the first 2 innings, his career high outing. This is his first start. First 10 appearances have all been out of the pen. Wind in the 0-2. Just off the plate wide. Close pitch, though. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Colby leads the series of Butler 2-1, winning twice on Thursday in Colby, 14-5 and 9-2. 1-2 pitch. A little real slow roller up the middle. Crit Williams gets to it, fires across in time, and that is now a career-long 2 1/3 innings for one Dylan Nedved. Get played by Crit Williams on a slow grounder by Brunson. 1 away for the center fielder, Clint Allen. The other 2 series in the weekend, Cloud County has the bye week this week. Barton and Seward County split a pair on Thursday. Line shot, that's down the line, left field line into the corner for extra bases. Allen will head to second, put the brakes on there as Morganson gets it in. Nedved put it right over the plate, and Allen pulled it past the third baseman. And Wyatt Divis never had a chance to make a move on it. A 1-out double for Allen. Second hit of the game for Garden City. They have a runner in scoring position, 1 out for first baseman Robbie Young. Young flew out to center field his first time up. Barton and Seward split a pair at Lawson Biggs Field in Great Bend on Thursday. Barton won the first game 6-2. The Saints fought back and got the second game 7-4. High chopper right side, but foul outside of first by Young, and it's 0-1. Barton currently in first place at 13-5. Colby at 12-6. Butler now 14-9. Cloud at 12-8. Hutchinson at 13-10. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 to Young. Dodge City behind the Dragons at 8-10. They split a pair with Pratt on Thursday at Cavalier Field in Dodge City. They'll play tomorrow at Stanyon Field in Pratt to close out that series. Seward at 6-12. Garden at 5-14. Pitch a little bit low. 1-2. Great pitch on 0-2 there from Dylan Nedved. Pratt right now, a game and a half out of the Region 6 tournament. Make that 2 full games. They're 6-16, but they're 3 games in the loss column behind Garden City. 1-2 pitch. Curveball lined into right field. That's a hit. Bolin gets over to it. Allen being waved. Here comes the throw. It's cut off, and Garden City has a 1-0 lead. RBI single by Young. His third RBI in the afternoon. And that is the first earned run allowed by Dylan Nedved this season. Just the 4th run allowed, but the first earned. And he finally has an ERA other than 0. Now Ty Barkley, the catcher. So Garden City up 1-0, their first lead of the afternoon. There's a strike to Barkley. He walked his first time and was stranded at third. So we gave you the numbers earlier. When the Blue Dragons allow the first run to score, Hutchinson's 13-10 in those games. There's a swing and a high pop toward the right field line. Bolin on his horse, still coming on, makes the catch. About a third of the way down was Young, but he scampers back. Now 2 away. That was a longer run for Zion than originally he thought he was going to have to make. Ball not carrying quite as well today as it has been here at Hobart-Detter. Now the powerful Corbin Truslow. He singled in the first. Strike 1 to Truslow. Truslow in the series now. 4 for 9. He homered on Thursday. Nedved comes set. Now delivers. Bounces in. Nice stop by Scott Wolverton. Staying at first is Robbie Young. Count even a 1-1. Garden City normally amongst the leaders in the Jayhawk West. A bit of a down year this year. A lot of freshmen on this Garden City roster. More than Chris Finnegan likes to have, or lack of sophomores. It's a hard hit ball to right coming on his bowl, and he dives and it gets past him and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Young will be waved around third. He will score. On the way to third is Truslow. He's in safely with the triple. So Zion Bolin makes a daring play and it backfires on him. A run scores to make it 2-0. A triple all the way for Truslow. And that is his first triple of the year. So a freshman mistake by Bolin. Now 2-0 Garden City. Defense has had its moments of negativity for the Dragons. A 933 fielding team with 82 errors, and they've had several misplays of that variety. High chopper left side, fielded by the third baseman, Dibbs. He fires across in time, and the inning is over. So Laura retired on the first pitch. 2 runs on 3 hits, though. 2 for extra bases. A double by Allen down the line, an RBI single by Young, and then the RBI triple by Truslow. After 2.5, it's Garden City 2 and the Dragons nothing. Well, for the 24th time this season and in 36 games, the opponent scores first. Dragons are 13-10 as they trail Garden City 2-0 in this series finale. It'll be Scott Wolverton, Crit Williams, and Logan Sartori here in the third against Kendrick Catrone. Strike call. Dragons still looking for their first hit. Strike one to Wolverton, who has back-to-back two-hit games. His average now at 225, 9 for 40, a home run and 6 driven in. He also has 2 doubles, 2 triples, 1 and 1. 4 for his last 8 is Wolverton. Before that, he was 5 for 32 for the season. He's brought his average up 78 points in just those 2 games. Strike at the letters, enter half, and it's 1 and 2. Here's the 1-2. Got him swinging. Way out in front of that off-speed pitch. That's 3 strikeouts now for Catrone. 3rd strikeout of the game, and now shortstop Crit Williams. Crit Williams hitting 190 for the year, 4 for 21, no extra base hits, 9 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Crit making his 6th start of the year. Fouls one back on the first pitch. The Dragons continue to be very aggressive. First pitch swinging. This is Crit's first appearance in the series against Garden City. The pitch. Strike inside corner, and right now Catrone is locked in both sides of the plate. We talked about Dylan Nedved and his lack of starting experience. Pitch outside, 1 and 2 to Williams. Catrone has only tossed 6 innings this year, now into his 9th. There's a ball well hit down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul and land on the old clubhouse down the left field line. 1 and 2 to Williams. Next year, that will probably hit the new facility out there. Hopefully, here in a couple of weeks, we'll get to show you some progress. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a high fastball. Catrone goes up the ladder. 3 consecutive strikeouts, 4 for the game now. And the Dragons, the first time through the order against Kendrick Catrone, hitless with 4 strikeouts. Now it's second time around to Logan Sartori. He flew out to right field his first time. Sartori now in the series is 3 for 12, a couple of doubles and 3 RBIs. The pitch. Upstairs for a ball. Sartori, a 5-game hitting streak, 5 for 13 in that stretch. Pitch taken outside for a ball, 2-0. Sartori's had a 10-game hit streak. Morganson is season-long 11. Dylan Nedved's had a 9. Zach Baxley a 7. Breaking pitch misses, and it's 3-0. Dragons, a lot of the times this year, have not handled a pitcher the first time through and came back aggressively, hit him hard the second time. Will that be the second time this year? 4-pitch walk to Sartori. Second walk issued by Catrone. This one comes with 2 out, and now Dylan Nedved. Chance to help himself out here. Nedved flew out to center his first time. 7 for 13 in the series. 3 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs. Nedved for the season hitting .375. The pitch. Ground ball, 1 hopper to third. Fielded by Laura. Pours it across in time. And the Dragons continue to be aggressive. Right now, Kendrick Catrone has them off balance. No hits through 3 innings for Hutchinson. They trail Garden City 2-0. Dylan Nedved back to work for his 4th inning. He's got now a career-long 3 in his first start. Gave up a couple of earned runs. The first earned runs allowed this season by Nedved in the 3rd. Hutchinson now trails Garden City 2-0. 6, 7, 8 Burns, Lightly, and Cruz here in the 4th. Nedved's allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. First pitch is swung on a miss by Burns. He's 0-1. Burns took a called 3rd and 3 pitches his first at bat. 3 for 8 in the series. Also has a double and 3 driven in. The pitch, slice foul. It's 0-2. 46 pitches for Nedved now, 33 in the zone. Again, unable to find out exactly how long Ryan Schmidt would roll with Dylan in his first start. The decision with injuries and what have you, and non-performance. Called strike 3, outside corner. 1 away. That is the 3rd strikeout for Nedved. All looking. 1 away for shortstop Ty Lightly. Lightly grounded to third baseman Wyatt Divis. Picked it off the short hop. Made a great play. Lightly now 1 for 10 in the series. Has struck out a couple times and into 1 double play. Strike at the knees, 0-1. Wind in the 0-1. Fouled straight back right at me. No flinching, thank you very much. Of course, I'll be paying for that statement momentarily on Twitter as Danny will pull out some sort of old joke. 0-2 the count to Lightly. Nedved in the line, the pitch. Curveball, did he go around? Yes, he did. Wolverton tags him out, and there's 2 away. 4 strikeouts now for Nedved, back-to-back Ks here in the 4th, and it's bases empty 2 away for Russell Cruz, who grounded out to 3rd his first time. Garden City started their conference season losing 3 of 4 to Cloud County. Check that, winning 3 of 4 against Cloud County. Strike called to Cruz. So it's a good start to the conference season for the Busters, and they've won just twice since. The pitch. Fastball over but low for a ball, 1-1. They were swept by Butler. 2 1 games and 2 blowouts. Lost 3 of 4 to Barton. 1 win was a 3-2 win. The pop up, and it's back out of play, and it's now 1-2. Against Dodge City, they won the first game 13-9 on March 22nd, then lost by the scores of 7-3, 4-1, 5-4. Now currently on a 6-game conference losing streak. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, outside corner. Great breaking ball from Nedved, and he comes back strong after a rough 3rd. 3 up, 3 down, and he strikes out the side in the 3rd. In the 4th. We head to the bottom of the inning. 2-0 Garden City. Wyatt Divis lead off the fourth. Hutchinson still looking for his first hit of the series finale. Divis had a rough afternoon. Good series through the first two games. He's now 4 for 9 in the series. Now 4 for 10 with a strikeout in the first. Still looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, but the second baseman Brunson goes to her right, gets to it, fields, and Divis is retired for out number 1. And the Dragons continue to go first pitch hacking. That was only the 37th pitch by Kendrick Catrone. It's not like this has been the case of today. The Dragons have been very aggressive all season on first pitch swinging. Here's Bobby Morganson. He walked and then was erased on a base running error back in the second. Morganson hit a home run earlier today. Lined one out of here to right field. That gave the Dragons their final run of the game, number 1, 5-3 win. Hard hit ball pulled foul. Bobby's hand stinging a little bit on the weather like that. 39 degrees now. Temperature has gone up 8 degrees since first pitch of game number 1 today. One pitch. Low and in, 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Last week against Dodge City, the Dragons were no hit into the, I believe, the 5th inning of the series finale. There's a breaking pitch for a strike. Count even to 2-2. Dragons were run ruled for the first time in 6 years last week. In that series finale at Dodge City at Cavalier Field, 16-3. 2-2 pitch. Lifted to left, foul territory. Laura Cruz giving chase, but it lands in the Dragon pen. And Morganson stays alive at 2-2. That's a fairly amazing streak to go 6 years without a run rule loss tagged on you. Two and two to Morganson. 2-2 pitch. Slider up to plate wide, full count to Morganson. Garden City dugout wanting that call. Here's the payoff. Pulled foul. Morganson is a freshman, tied a Blue Dragon record with 87 career RBIs. He's making a move on the top 10 all time. There's a pitch and a pop-up. That'll get back out of play, and Morganson stays alive with a full count. 45 pitches, 30 for strikes for Catrone, so he has done exactly what Chris Finnegan has asked him to do, and that's pound the strike zone. Wide in the payoff again. And on the hands has popped up, and it get back out of play. Ty Barkley gave a look, but gave up the chase a couple of steps into it. Here's the 3-2. Got him swinging. Morganson strikes out. 5 strikeouts now for Catrone, and the Dragons just not looking very well against this Dodge City lefty, or Garden City lefty, excuse me. As a team this year, the Dragons have hit fairly well against lefties, hitting at a 288 clip. Now Zach Baxley. Baxley grounded out to Catrone, or sacrifice bunt his first time up. Pitch taken inside, ball 1. That was a slider. What Catrone is doing is spotting his pitches, moving in, out, up, and down, and hitting his spots. Ball 2 now to Baxley. Quite honestly, he's not a hard-throwing lefty. That's the secret to it. It's being able to move and spot your pitches, change speed, and just consistently throw strikes. Now 3-0, pitch a little bit low to Baxley. If he gets on base, it'll be Brock Schaefer. I posed the question last week against Dodge City when they were here, and I've asked a few people since, is the art of pitching really ever taught anymore? Here's the cripple. Ball 4. Baxley walks. That is the third walk issued by Catrone. Dragons still looking for their first hit. Brock Schaefer will be the batter. Schaefer, a couple of hits in game number 1 today, reached on a fielder's choice. And without question, the people I have posed the question to, and these are baseball people, I even posed the question to Blue Dragon softball pitching coach Ray Aguirre. First pitch to Schaefer is a late swing on a slow slider. Nothing in 1 the count. And the answer to that question is the art of pitching taught anymore? And unequivocally, no. Move over to first, soft toss. Robbie Young has to go down to a knee to block it. You look at the pitchers that go into the majors today, and they're all power arm pitchers. You don't see a Greg Maddux, a Tom Glavine type pitcher move up anymore, or hardly move up anymore. The 0-1, way outside, 1-1 the count to Schaefer. And you wonder if a guy like Maddux or Glavine, who didn't have lightning fastballs, but could throw 4 different pitches for strikes, in, out, up, and down, and any pitch in the count, would even get a look nowadays. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled off by Schaefer. Cervantes had the hit and run on. And everybody will have to return. And Brock down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. There is an art to pitching. The game has become so offensive that I think the only way to get people out is power pitching. Well, right now, Kendrick Catrone proving that otherwise. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 at the letters. And the inning is over. Dragons hitless through 4. No runs, 1 left. Hutchinson stranded 3 through 4. We head to the 5th inning here at Hobart-Detter Field. Busters 2 and the Dragons nothing. Top of the 5th rolls around at Hobart-Detter Field. Steve Carpenter with you on a brilliantly sunny but very cold day in south central Kansas. Dragons have the first 3 games of the series in their pocket looking for the sweep, but right now they're being no-hit by Kendrick Catrone through 4 innings and trail Garden City 2-0. 9-1-2 here in the Buster 5th. Griffin Brunson shows bunt and takes ball 1 from Nedved. Dylan Nedved has retired 4 in a row. He struck out the side in the 4th. 2 earned runs, 4 hits for Nedved. The ball's pulled foul outside of the 3rd by Brunson, and it's 1-1. Nedved has worked spotless innings in the 2nd and 4th. Gave up a walk and a single in the 1st, and then was touched for 2 runs and 3 hits, 2 for extra bases in the 3rd. That's the difference in the game. Good curveball swung through and missed, and it's 1-2 to Brunson. Wind in the 1-2. A little bit low right on the outside corner, but a bit low 2-2. So Nedved spotting his pitch as well. He got a little loose in the third. The wind in the 2-2. Well hit to left field. Morganson to his right makes the catch, one away here in the Buster fifth. Brunson hit it well, but Morganson had it measured all the way. Brunson 0 for 2, and it's back to the top of the order in Clint Allen. Allen with one out and got the Garden City offense started with a double inside the bag that went all the way down into the left field corner. He scored on Young's RBI single, then Truslow tripled Young in on a misplay in right field by Zion Bolin. Ball 1 to Allen. Allen now in the series. That double was his first hit of the series. He's 1 for 10. A little bit low, 2 balls to count. Trying to get you an update from El Dorado. Again, the Dragons really need Colby to win that series finale. Butler rallied for a 6-5 win, or 5-4 win, excuse me. Pitch outside, 3-0 now to Allen. Other 2 series in the conference will be concluded tomorrow. 3-0 is a fastball right through there for a strike. 3-1 Allen. 3-3 in the third down at McDonald Stadium in El Dorado. Colby and Butler. The pitch. In on the hands, and it's pulled foul. And the count full 3-2 now. A lot of questions whether we would get this game in today or these games in today. And this was earlier in the week when we saw the initial forecast. 3-2 pitch, foul back. The forecast early in the week just looked completely awful for yesterday and today. The storm itself basically moved in about 9:30 last night and dumped about 1.5 inches of snow, but temperatures plummeted. 3-2 pitch, called strike 3. Nedved pops the outside corner. That is now 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Nedved. 5 have been called thirds. Young steps in. Robbie Young, 3 RBIs on the afternoon. He had a 2-run single in game number 1. RBI single in the third to give Garden City a 2-0 lead here. Pulls this one foul. Young now in the series, a very solid 5 for 14. Nedved with 67 pitches, 48 for strikes for the right-handed freshman. That one's lifted to left field. Morganson almost in his tracks. Has it, and it's a 1-2-3 fifth inning. Nedved has retired 7 in a row. Time for the offense to get going for Hutchinson. They've been out hit through 4 and trail Garden City 2-0. One week ago today, the Blue Dragons were no hit by Dodge City. Pitcher Zach Gifford threw 4 innings. Went out into the 5th. They got their first hit. Dragons have been no-hit by Kendrick Catrone through 4 innings. Zion Bolin, Scott Wolverton, and Crit Williams, the lower third of the Dragon order here in the 5th. Hutchinson trailing 2-0, and it's ball 1 to Zion Bolin, a strikeout victim his first time. Catrone has only allowed or pitched 6 innings coming into this one. That pitch misses, and it's 2-0 to Bolin. He has struck out 6 and walked 3. Here's the 2-0. Way high, and it's 3-0 to Bolin. So the Dragons, as good as an offensive team they have, and they do have a great offensive team this season, have gone through some ugly stretches. The cripple is high ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to start the 5th. That's the 4th walk issued by Catrone. We'll see if the Dragons can do anything with it. Morganson walked to lead off the 2nd. And base running errors cost the Dragons in that inning. Now Scott Wolverton, he struck out his first time. Again, Wolverton, 4 for his last 9 after starting 5 for 32. Wolverton struck out now 23 times in 41 at-bats this season. Breaking pitch a little bit low, and it's 5 straight out of the zone for Catrone to start the 5th. And Chris Finnegan will make a slow walk. There is action in the pen. Again, Catrone has only thrown 6 innings all year, so he has been taxed more than any point this season. It would be interesting if Chris Finnegan were to go to the pen now with Catrone rolling a no-no. As I look down to the Dragon pen, there is somebody loosening down there. We questioned earlier how long Dylan Nedved would go. There's Wyatt Divis getting some warm-up tosses. Divis got the Game 2 win on Thursday, pitching 2 scoreless innings before Nedved came into the 9th after the Dragons grabbed the lead in the top of the 9th to knock down his 2nd save. So 5 in a row out of the zone for Catrone. Runner goes early. They go to first. The throw down is in time. A 1-3-6 caught stealing, and again, bad base running has cost the Dragons in this one. With the lefty, you're taught to go on first movement. And Catrone hesitated just enough. Bolin went on first movement. Good strike down to second from Robbie Young. Wolverton fouls it back, and it's 1-1. So, in essence, you can wipe out the leadoff walk now. He no longer exists on base, and the Dragons still search for their first hit. Here's the 1-1 to Wolvie. A little bit high for a ball, 2-1. You wondered why you went on 1-0. That's a question mark. 5 straight out of the zone for Catrone, and then you go on the pitch. The pitch taken a little bit low and off speed pitch, and it's 3-1 to Wolverton. Crit Williams will be next. That's the great thing about baseball. The second guessing that can be done in this game is staggering. High ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Catrone. He's now issued 4. In the inning, 9 pitches, 8 for balls. And now Crit Williams. Now you don't run Bolin, whether he went on his own or was signaled to go. Irrelevant. It should be, or it could be, bases at runners at first and second, nobody out, and Crit Williams would likely be bunting. Still maybe bunting here. Third baseman Chris Lara starts even up with the bag. That one's hit the center field pretty well, but Allen hasn't measured. He's got it for out number 2. Going about halfway is Wolverton. He returns to first. 2 away now. It's back to the top of the order. So there, you figure if that happens, Bolin moves up to third. So this inning, unless the Dragons can get a 2-out knock from Logan Sartori. A big what-if type of inning, trailing 2-0. Now Logan Sartori, first pitch swing. He drives one toward the gap in right center field, but Burns will chase it down. And the Dragons continue to go after first pitches with little or no success. Leadoff walk results in nothing. Dragons have stranded 4 through 5. We head to the 6th, 2-0 Garden City. Ryan Schmidt goes to the bullpen, kind of. Just position changes by our new pitcher for the Blue Dragons is Wyatt Divis, the sophomore from Lincoln Northeast High School in Lincoln, Nebraska. Dylan Nedved will stay in the game. He'll go back to his natural position at shortstop. Then Crit Williams, the starting shortstop, moves over to third. So 2 scoreless innings for Div on Thursday. 2-1 record overall. He got the win in that game. Hutchinson's 9-8 come from behind win. 2-1 with a 6.0 ERA. Pitching for the second time in relief. 18 innings pitched, 23 hits, 18 runs, 12 earned. Divis has struck out 21 and walked 7, and opponents hitting 288 against. Again, the leg injury that Div suffered earlier this year kept him off the mound. He really struggled before that pitching-wise. He's been roughed up a couple of times. 3, 4, and 5 here in the Buster 6th. And it's ball 1 to tie Barkley. Barkley 0 for 1 with a walk. Outside ball 2. Divis allowed 1 hit and walked 1, struck out 3 over those 2 innings on Thursday. He pitched the 7th and 8th innings. Pitch has missed, close pitch, and it's 3-0. Not sure where that missed, actually. Here's the cripple, and there for a strike, 3-1. Before Divis threw on Thursday, first the 3-1, swung on and missed, took something off of it, and it's 3-2. Divis last pitched on March 8th, almost a full month. High ball 4, a leadoff walk. Barkley walks for the second time. Now Truslow, who's 2 for 2. Corbin Truslow, 5 for 10 in the series. He singled and then hit a triple that Zion Bolin misplayed. Made a diving attempt and then got past and rolled all the way to the wall to drive in a run. That made it 2-0. Truslow takes a fastball for strike 1. Divis on that March 8th outing against Cloud County got the win. Went 5 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, only 1 was earned, struck out 7 and walked 2. That pitch hits the dirt and goes back to the screen. It'll be a wild pitch charge to Barkley. So now a very important insurance run in scoring position with nobody out. We'll see how Chris Finnegan plays it here. So the Dragons trailing 2-0. Again, not doing themselves any favors here in the 6th. Here's the pitch. That one's lifted to center and deep. Schaefer going back. He's at the wall and gone. Truslow hits his 12th home run of the year. And Garden City leads at 4-0. We told you Truslow had a ton of power, and he showed it to center field, muscling that one out over the trees. And it's 4-0 Garden City. Dragon pitchers give up their 58th home run, their 40th home run of the year. Divis allows his 4th round tripper. So a leadoff walk and a 2-run home run. Now the Dragons trail by 4. Here's their baseman, Chris Lara. Went around on a breaking pitch in the dirt for strike 1. So the Dragons have their work cut out for them. Not their biggest deficit to come back from this year. Fastball inside, 1-1. Divis will eventually, once he gets some innings under his belt, be returned back to the weekend rotation. Breaking pitch is a strike at the letters, 1-2. Good late movement on that Divis offering. Divis fastball, curveball, changeup. His 3 main pitches. That pitch misses in the dirt, 2-2. Garden City's now out, hit Hutchinson 5-0. Two. In on the hand, sprayed foul off to the right over the Garden City dugout. Count still 2-2 to Chris Lara. And that, when you get a 3-0 series lead in the conference, you want to get greedy and go for that 4th one. But right now, Garden City has flat taken it to Hutchinson. There's a ground ball to the right side past the diving Sartori for a hit. And it's 3 straight to reach Divis here in the 6th. Walk to Barclay, Truslow's 2-run home run, and now an opposite field single by Lara. Now Darian Burns, who has struck out looking twice. Zach Moore starts throwing in the Blue Dragon bullpen. Back of Divis. There's a bunt. Laid down, it's a good one. Fielded by Crit Williams. Low throw dug out by Baxley. So the sacrifice works 5-3. And Garden City has another runner in scoring position with less than 2 out. We told you earlier that Garden City play fundamentally sound baseball. Here's Ty Lightly. 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Lightly now 1 for 11 in the series. Garden City now with 6 hits. 3 have gone for extra bases. The pitch. Fastball for a strike. Dragons will be at home Monday, a non-conference single 9-inning affair against NOC Tonkawa. They'll return that trip a week from Monday when they go to Tonkawa. On Tuesday, Hutchinson scheduled to travel to Barton for a non-conference game. Pitch bounces in. 1-1 the count to Lightly. Next weekend, next Saturday and Sunday, the Blue Dragons will be in the Kansas City metro area. A 4-game non-conference series against Longview as they will have their conference bye week. Then after that, just 2 more conference series left in the season. Pratt and Seward County. Pitch outside, 2-1. The Dragons will also have a road trip to Redlands, that on April 24th. That'll be a pair of 7-inning games. Downstairs, good stop by Wolverton, but it's 3-1. So the Dragons want to start making that next step up. in terms of getting ready for conference or for regional play. There are no at-larges to go to the World Series. Ball 4. Pitch a little bit low. 2 on, 1 out here in the 6th for left fielder Russell Cruz. Cruz 0 for 2. And Ryan Schmidt comes out of the dugout. You got to figure some up and down moments on the mound for Divis, again, as he comes back from an injured leg. Ryan Schmidt's just kind of looking at the confidence of Divis right now, seeing how he felt. Again, 2 scoreless innings on Thursday for Divis after not nearly throwing for a month. Ultimately, again, Ryan Schmidt would love to move him back into the weekend rotation and keep the kind of dual closer role with Dylan Nedved and Dayton Lane. Meeting over. Right now, this is Divis's batter, and Cruz, he's 0 for 2. Don't be surprised if we see another bunt attempt coming up here. Cruz hitting in the 8 hole, followed by Brunson, the second baseman. Dragons have had their defensive issues this year. 82 errors for the season. So far, none in this one. Here's Cruz. Inside ball 1. Garden has scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 so far here in the 6th on the 2-run home run by Corbin Truslow, his 12th of the year. Middle infield, double play depth, the pitch. And there for a strike at the knees, inner half, 1-1. Really outside of a couple of pitchers. Mason Palmier, Mike Brown to be exact, and now Miguel Reyes joins the picture with another good outing. Pitching role definition has been tough because of so much inconsistency. Breaking pitch in the dirt, Cruz wouldn't bite, and he's up in the count 2-1. Divis was expected to be in the weekend rotation all year long. He had a strong freshman year on the mound once he went into the weekend rotation. And a good fall. Pitch out of the hands, pulled foul, and it's 2-2. Dragons made it 6-0 in this one. Garden City threatening to really break this one open, now leading by 4. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch got him swinging on a slow curveball up in the zone. That's out number 2. First strikeout for, oh, they foul ball. My apologies. I thought. So we'll do it again at 2-2. Now the 2-2 hit foul. So 3-2 or 2-2 to Cruz now. Here's the pitch. Popped up, foul territory, right side. It's out of play. Baxley gives a look. And no wind to speak of, which for the temperature of the day, for the fans outside, is a gift. Temperatures now reach 40 degrees. We were at an expected high of 41 today. Divis is 2-2. Fouled again to the right. Bolin with a long run into foul territory. Runs it down and makes the catch. Long run for Zion Bolin. And he makes the catch for the second out of the inning deep into foul territory. So Cruz retired. finally. And now Griffin Brunson. He's 0 for 2, but he hit the ball hard his last time, lined out to Morganson and left. Div trying to keep it here to a 4-run deficit. He's been charged with a couple of runs on the Truslow 2-run home run. How many times do you see a leadoff walk come around to score? But it was Truslow's bomb to center field, his 12th of the year. That's giving Garden City a 4-0 lead. Strike at the knees. The Dragons have had a ton of big innings in them this year, and they're due for one. Here's the 0-1 from Div. It's a breaking pitch, over but low, and it's 1-1. Again, Zach Moore throwing in the pen. There was another pitcher expected to be in the weekend rotation with injuries and what have you, who's not gotten back there. Zach's been out of the bullpen this entire season. 1-1, a fastball. Strike called, 1-2. Right now, if you're the Blue Dragons, you're on the outside looking in terms of a home series. That's why that game at Butler against Colby is so important. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. So Div gets a strikeout, 2 in the inning. 2-run home run by Corbin Truslow. That's the difference right now. 4-0 Hutchinson trails as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Dragon offense needs to wake up. No hit through 5. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 against Kendrick Catrone. Catrone has only worked 6 innings all season. And this is his 5th total appearance. He has been dynamite in this one, albeit for 5 walks. He has struck out 6, and it's ball 1 to Dylan Nedved. Dragons had their chances in the 5th. They got back-to-back, or a walk to Boland, but he was caught stealing. Then Wolverton walked. The inning could have been much differently had the Dragons not decided to run. Nedved pops this one up. Maybe playable on the right side, but it does land behind the Garden City dugout out of play, and the count 1-1. Nedved 0 for 2. Catrone up to 68 pitches, 40 for strikes. And there is action in the Garden City pen. The big left-hander kicks and fires, and Nedved swings and misses. And it's 1-2. Dragons have not been able to figure the change of pace stuff for Catrone in this one. 1-2 pitch. Slice foul. 1-2 remains the count on Nedved. Dylan Nedved. Pretty strong start, 5 innings. That's a career long. Gave up 2 earned runs. Ground ball to third. Big hop for Chris Laurie. Fires across in time. 1 away here in the Dragons' 6th. Here's Wyatt Divis. He's 0 for 2. Divis on the afternoon. is 0 for 3. Garden City trying to avoid their second conference sweep of the year. Butler swept the Grizzlies. Pitch taken a little bit low for ball to Divis. After Divis, it'll be Bobby Morganson, then if anybody gets on, Zach Baxley. The pitch. Right. Ball 2, a little bit high. Catrone against left. He's pitching up the third base side of the rubber. Barely touches it. There's a breaking pitch in for a strikeout or half, and it's 2-1 to Divis. Big hole in right center field for Divis. They play him toward left center. The pitch. Divis takes a shot toward left, and he fouls it off out of play, and it's 2-2 now to Divis. Divis kind of a jack of all trades. He's played a little second, a little third, a little first, a little left field, DH'd and pitched. 2-2. Fouled off barely. And Divis stays alive at 2-2. Center fielder Clint Allen really swung around toward left center. 2-2 pitch. Pulled foul outside of first. Toby Cornell with a barehanded toss while backpedaling. That ought to get some props on Twitter. Unlike Jamel Cervantes, Toby Cornejo not looking for validation. He just throws the ball back in and gets ready to go to work. Once again, the 2-2. Pulled foul again just outside of first. Divis has seen 7 pitches in the at-bat now. Here's 2-2. Upstairs, full count. Wind wafting a little bit in center field. There's a little bit of movement out there now. Outside of the temperature, it's been a gorgeous day here at Hobart-Detter. Here's the payoff. High ball 4. 6th walk issued by Catrone. And we'll see what Chris Finnegan decides to do with another lefty and Bobby Morganson coming up. I imagine he will face Morganson. Although Bobby tears lefties up at a pretty good pace. Morganson has walked and struck out. And chased one up in the zone to strike out in the 4th. Morganson homered earlier today. Dragons still looking for their first hit. Pitch a little bit low for a ball 1-0. It's almost as Catrone is masterfully wild, as you might say. The pitch. Strike at the knees. The pitch had a good late movement to it, and it's 1-1. Morganson now tied with Divis for the team lead in home runs with 9. The pitch. That's a hard hit ground ball. That breaks up the no-hitter. Divis will head to third. The throw comes into second. The Dragons have him on the corners with 1 out here in the 6th. So Catrone carries a no-hitter for 5 1/3, and finally Morganson breaks it up with a hard-hit single through the right side. Wyatt Divis goes to third, and now Zach Baxley, the batter. Baxley against left-handed pitching, hitting .300 this year. He is no official time of at bat here. He has sacrificed and walked. Baxley in the series 3 for 9. Dragons trail 4-0, but threaten. Soft toss over. Morganson back safely. Don't expect, not with Wyatt Divis running particularly well, and he's not. Don't expect a double steal in this particular situation. Here's the pitch. Baxley pops one up. More impatient hitting. It's a shortstop. Lightly makes the catch, and there's 2 away. So, in essence, a wasted at bat. First pitch swinging again. The Dragons just not being very patient at all. Now it's runners at the corners, 2 away for Brock Schaefer. Another lefty-lefty matchup. Schaefer in this one has reached on a fielder's choice and struck out looking. Garden City leading Hutch 4-0. Pitch foul back. Schaefer with a pair of singles in the first game. Catrone comes set. Now delivers. Pitch in the dirt, knocked down by the catcher Barkley. That saved a run. Now the Dragon center fielder has a 1-1 count on him. You kind of get the feeling if Schaefer breaks through here, that could open the floodgates. Garden City's overall pitching staff has a 6+ ERA, just like Hutchinson's. Soft toss over. Already the Dragons have lost a couple of runners on base in this one. Morganson running with the ball hit in front of him, and then Zion Bolin cut down stealing on a first move. 1-1. Schaefer lifts one down the left field line, but it's going to hook well foul. And it's 1-2. So 1-2, 2 out. Dragons hitting .276 in 2-out situations. Schaefer hitting .306 in such situations. The pitch. Slider misses a little bit wide. Close pitch, and it's 2-2. As the pitch count now reaches 88 on Kendrick Catrone. Here's the 2-2. Pulled foul. Schaefer stays alive. Pitch in on the hands. And that ball rolled up somebody's arms and popped one of the Garden City bench players right in the nose. He appears to be okay. Just on a cold day like this, that's not going to feel good. 2-2, 2 out. Morganson away from first. Catrone comes set, the 2-2 to Schaefer. That's line to right field. That's going to get down for a hit. The Dragons are on the board. Divis scores. Morganson heading for third. Schaefer trying for second. Here comes the throw. It's a little bit late. And it's a 2-out double for Brock Schaefer. 4-1 now the score to the Dragons trail. And Schaefer gets his 7th hit of the series and drives in his 2nd run. The Dragons are on the board. Schaefer just went down and got that pitch. Chris Finnegan's going to come out, and that's going to do it for Kendrick Catrone, who has pitched a dandy for the Broncbusters today. So Zion Bolin's going to face a new pitcher, and we'll tell you about that Garden City pitcher right after this break. Jacob Douglas becomes the new Garden City pitcher for head coach Chris Finnegan. 6'1", 195-pound freshman from Georgetown, Ontario, Canada. He takes over for Kendrick Catrone, who carried a no-hitter into this 6th inning. Went 5 1/3 innings without allowing a hit. The numbers on Douglas, on for the 10th time this year, 4th in relief. 3-3 with 1 complete game and a 6.55 earned run average. 44 innings pitched for Douglas, 57 hits allowed, 39 runs. 32 of those have been earned. He has struck out 34, walked only 10, but he has given up 8 home runs. Kendrick Catrone, 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits allowed. The runners on are his responsibility. So far, just 1 earned run allowed. He struck out 6 and walked 6. Douglas will face Zion Bolin. Bolin has struck out and walked. Schaefer at second with an RBI double. Bobby Morganson at third. So the Dragons have their chance. Bolin, the tying run at the plate for the Blue Dragons. The first pitch from Douglas is off the plate, wide, ball 1. So a great effort from Kendrick Catrone. Now the bullpen will try to hold it for him. Dragons trail by 3. The pitch, hard hit ball down the line. That's a fair ball and into the corner. This will score 2. Morganson and Schaefer both score. Bolin makes a wide turn around second, then returns. It's 4-3. 2-run double for Zion Bolin. That's now 5 RBIs in the series for Bolin. Check that, 7 RBIs in the series for Bolin. He doubles down the left field line to plate a pair. And now the Dragons trail by 1. And Scott Wolverton will be the batter. He has struck out and walked. So Bolin, the tying run at second with 2 outs. 3 2-out RBIs here in the 6th for Hutchinson, and they're back into it. Here's the pitch. First pitch swing, foul back, pretty good swing. Bolin now 23 RBIs on the year with his 5th double. He now has 11 extra base hits, 5 doubles, 4 triples, a team high, and 2 home runs. That's a 3-run 6th inning for Hutchinson so far. Here's the pitch. Hard hit ball into left field for a base hit. Cervantes will wave Bolin. Here comes the throw. It's late. And then moving into second base on the throw is Wolverton, and we're tied at 4. Scotty Wolverton now has hit safely in 3 straight. He seems to be coming out of the slump. That's now 5 hits in his last 3 games. Wolverton drives in his 7th RBI of the year and ties it up at 4. 4 2-out RBIs by Scotty Wolverton. We'll get a pinch hitter for Crit Williams. It'll be Riley Metzger. So very quickly, in a matter of 4 batters, this game has changed. Now tied at 4. Metzger, the pinch hitter. Riley Metzger as a pinch hitter this year. 1 for 3. The Dragons just have 2 pinch hits this year and 15 at-bats for pinch hitters. So the Dragons have erased the 4-0 lead, now tied 4-4. Wolverton away from second, and outside ball 1 from Douglas is Metzger. Jacob Douglas pitched 4 2/3 innings on Thursday, and the 9-8 come from behind Hutchinson win. There's a high fly ball, but it's going to go well foul. Metzger got a hold of one. Not sure it would add home run distance, but it would have been close. Way out in front of it. Douglas on Thursday went 4 2/3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 earned runs. He struck out 3 and walked none. Also gave up 2 home runs, also a double and a triple. Another big swing by Metzger, foul back. Metzger's down to the count, of ball and 2 strikes. Wolverton away from second. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch outside, 2-2. So 4 2-out RBIs in the inning. RBI double by Schaefer, a 2-run double by Bolin. An RBI single by Wolverton have tied it up. Dragons trailed this 4-0 coming into the inning. Off-speed swung on and missed, and that's the inning. But 3 consecutive 2-out hits, all driving in runs. Schaefer and Bolin doubles, Wolverton a single. 4 runs, 4 hits, and 1 left. We head to the 7th inning. A new ball game here at Hobart-Detter Field. Hutchinson 4 and Garden City 4. Zach Moore into the Blue Dragons, or in for the Blue Dragons out of the bullpen. Wyatt Dibbs moves back to third base, so the original defense is back in place with Dibbs at third, Nedved at short, Logan Sartori at second, Zach Baxley at first. Top of the order for Garden City in the 7th. Now in a 4-4 game. The Dragons have battled back to tie it up with a 4-run 6th. And would love to see Zach Moore get into a groove here. 8-0 as a freshman. Pitch outside, ball 1 to Allen. He's 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Moore battling through injuries, trying to get back to it. Pitch in other hands popped up, and he'll get back over the press box, 1-1. Moore on for the 11th time, 9th in relief, 1-2 record, and a 4.61 earned run average. Moore worked 13 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 13 runs, 7 earned. He struck out 8, but walked 11. Opponents hitting .222. There's a strike to Allen, and it's 1-2. Zach's last start 1 week ago today against Dodge City, and he didn't last very long. Only an inning and a third. The pitch way upstairs, a fastball, and it's 2-2. Last year as a freshman, Moore was fabulous with an 8-0 record. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, foul back. I wondered why my good friend Alan Kohanek was calling me. He just walked into the press box. A bit of a surprise. A good surprise. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Back to the screen, full count. Alan's son Noah, part of the team, but on the shelf with an injury. Pitcher. Now the 3-2. Foul back. You picked a nice warm day to come down to Hutch.
Warmer than Lincoln. 10 degrees warmer than we were.
So we'll do it again at 3-2. 4-4 the score now. The Dragons coming back with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th to tie this thing up. They were no hit into the 6th. So neither starting pitcher will be a part of the final decision. 3-2 pitch. Curveball. Did he go around? Yes, he did. The foul tipped in the glove of Wolverton. That's a strikeout. One away here in the seventh. Allen strikes out for the second consecutive time. He's 1 for 4. And now 1 for 12 in the series. Now Robbie Young. Young's had a good afternoon. 3 RBIs in the afternoon. An RBI single and a run scored in the third. He's 1 for 3. The pitch. Outside ball 1. Zach, a fastball, and when it works, it's one of the most devastating 12-6 curves you'll see. 1-0 pitch. Popped up, and it'll get out of play off to the left. Shelly here, too?
Yeah. I went to get hot chocolate.
Should tell her to come up here.
Just like she heard me say, nice warm up here. She's in short sleeves.
Moore gets the sign from Scott Wolverton. Time called and is granted to Robbie Young. Garden City in the midst of trying to stay in 8th place in the Jayhawk West. And would keep them in the Region 6 playoffs. 1-1 pitch, fastball, in on the hands, fouled back 1-2. The Dragons fighting for home playoff. They have 2 conference series remaining. They'll be out of conference play next weekend at Longview in Kansas City. And then we'll finish up with Pratt and Seward County. The 1-2 from Moore. There's that 12-6 curve that's barely fouled off by Young, and he stays alive at 1-2. Last year, Moore could throw that pitch with 2 different speeds, and it was absolutely devastating, especially went ahead in the count. He racked up a lot of strikeouts with that curveball. Butler leading 8-6, bottom of the 7th in El Dorado. The pitch way high, 2-2. The importance for Hutchinson there, Butler is ahead of Hutchinson in the standings. They've lost 2 of the first 3 to Colby. Both teams are actually above Hutchinson in the standings, but the Dragons need to pass 1. High pop to right center. Bolin to his right makes the catch, and there's 2 away. 2 up and 2 down for Ty Barkley, the catcher. Barkley started off Garden's 2-run 6th inning with a walk. He's walked twice, 0 for 1 on the afternoon. And now 2 for 9 in the series. Moore into the line. Curveball swung on and missed. Great pitch. That's that 12-6 curve. Royals get a 1-0 win today. That's good to see. After a very tough loss yesterday, that evens the series of Cleveland 1-1. I won the count. Yeah. More into the line. Fastball misses inside a little bit low, 2-1. And now a ball gets loose from, or something got loose. Brock Schaefer ran in and just put it in his pocket. I'm not sure if a ball got, I don't know how a ball will get that far out there. But Brock takes care of a little bit of lawn keeping. The pitch, hard hit ball, foul. Outside the left field line is 2-2. Wyatt Divis can get going, and Zach Moore gets back into a groove. Now the Dragon pitching staff starts looking a little more healthy. Zach Philbin, a lefty, starts throwing in the Dragon pen. Here's the 2-2. Curveball grounded to Sartori at second. He's got it on to first. And it's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Zach Moore, and that is awesome to see for him. He works through the top third of the order with a 1-2-3 stretch time at Hobart-Detter Field. It's the Dragons 4 and the Busters 4. Nick Yossi, a sidearm throwing left-hander, takes over on the mound for Garden City. Yossi took the loss in the 9-8 come-from-behind Hutchinson victory on Thursday in Game 2 of the series. Allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout in 1/3 innings pitched. Faced 6 batters. Now he takes over in a 4-4 game. Dragons tied up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Zach Moore worked a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. And now we get a look at Yossi, the second left-hander of the afternoon. 18 innings pitched for Yossi. He's been solid, 1-3 with a 2.53 earned run average. 21 of the 3rd innings pitched, 15 hits allowed, 12 runs, only 6 earned. He has struck out 32 and walked 18. He gets the top of the Dragon order here in the 7th. Logan Sartori, Dylan Nedved, and Wyatt Divis. Logan looking for his first hit of game number 4. Trying to extend a 5-game hitting streak. Yossi takes a breaking pitch for strike 1. Here's the pitch. Downstairs, a breaking pitch, 1-1. Dragons trying to rally for the second time in this series. They've won the first 2 games of the doubleheaders by the scores of 5-0 and 5-3. Swing and a miss. A wild swing by Sartori in a pitch that may have been a little bit wide, but he's down in the count 1-2. Sartori shaded toward right center field. Infield deep at all 4 positions. 1-2 pitch. Slice foul. And it stays 1-2. So Kendrick Catrone works 5 2/3 innings, takes a no-hitter, 1 out into the 5th. Douglas works just 1/3 of an inning, gives up 2 hits and 1 earned run. Here's the pitch to from Yossi, and it's popped up. Shallow right, drifting back is Brunson, in is Burns. It's the second baseman, Brunson, who has it for the first out of the Dragons' 7th. One away for Dylan Nedved. 0 for 3, Dylan, who's also made his first career start. Let me give you the final numbers on Dylan on the mound. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, the first earned runs he's allowed this year. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts, 68 total pitches. Little jam shot, and he flares it foul off to the right. Dragons have been out hit 6-4, but they got all 4 of the hits in the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and miss late on a fastball, and it's 0-2 to Nedved. Here's the pitch. Way outside, a waste pitch, and it's 1-2. Again, the Dragons back at work right here at Hobart-Detter Field on Monday, a single 9-inning game at 5 p.m. against Northern Oklahoma Toccoa. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging at a slider, and it's 2 up and 2 down here in the Dragons' 7th. Now Wyatt Divis. Dragons will play on Monday and Tuesday, have a couple of days off, and have 2 doubleheaders against Longview in Kansas City next weekend, next Friday and Saturday. Wyatt Divis walked and scored his last time up, 0 for 2. Still looking for his first hit of the doubleheader. Ball 1. Div, very good at keeping the hands in against lefties and driving it the other way. Nice big gap in left center field, just kind of calling out his name. The pitch. Slider misses outside, 2-0. Divis can reach, it'll be Bobby Morganson. Morganson hitting .340 against lefties. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, 1 hopper to short, bobbled. Now the throw is not in time, and Divis with the bad hammy runs it out. There'll be an error on the shortstop lightly, the first error for either team. So that gives the Dragons a little 2-out life, and now Bobby Morganson. Bobby singled. That broke up the no-hitter. That coming in the 6th. Hard hit ball on the right side. Bobby homered earlier today. Safe lead over first by Divis. You wouldn't expect him to be running here. The pitch. Slider for a strike outside corner. Garden City commits its 74th error of the season. That pitch misses, and it's 1-1. Here's the pitch. And there for a strike. Slow off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. And Bobby, good power to the left center field gap. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses wide, 2-2, close pitch. All the pitchers today have been right around the zone in this one. Now 2-2 to Morganson, the wind in the pitch. That's a hit to right field, down for a hit. Div will stop at second. It's a pair of 2-out base runners for Zach Baxley. So Bobby with a 2-hit game. That is his 11th multi-hit game of the year. 7 2-hit games, 4 3-hit games. Now Zach Baxley. Bax popped up in the 6th. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. All 4 Hutchinson runs in the 6th came with 2 outs. This potential rally has all started with 2 outs, started by the error to the shortstop Lightly. Pitch wide, ball 1. Hutch now with 5 hits, all coming in the last 2 innings. First baseman Robbie Young will play behind Morganson with a runner at second. Baxley late on that pitch, and it's 1-1. Baxley, 21 RBIs on the year. Here's a 1-1. Low one outside, 2-1. Action in the Garden City pen. The Dragon pen is quiet. Bluff move to second by Yossi. Scampering back is Wyatt Divis. Still 40 degrees under bright, sunshiny skies here. We started the day at 31 degrees. Divis safe lead out at second. Here's the 2-1. In the dirt, good stop by Ty Barkley. Baxley ahead in the count, 3-1. Baxley reaches, it'll be Brock Schaefer. Schaefer got the Dragons on the board with a double in the 6th. That scored Wyatt Divis. 3-1 pitch. Chased one up out of the zone. It's a full count. So 3-2, 2 out. Divis will be going at second. Morganson at first on the move of Yossi. Zach Baxley looking for a 2-out knock here to potentially give the Dragons their lead. Bluff move to second. Yossi, the lefty, looks in for the sign. He comes set. Runners move on the pitch. Inside, ball 4, and the Dragons have loaded him up. So another somewhat shaky outing for Yossi in the series. He took the loss in game number 2. And now Brock Schaefer, the batter. Schaefer got the Dragons on the board with a 2-out double to right field in the 6th. Now he has a chance to give the Dragons their first lead of game number 4. Dragons have taken the first 3 games in the series. Now look for the sweep. Straight away for Garden City against Schaefer, and it's a slider outside, ball 1. Schaefer needs to be very, very selective. Don't go chasing any bad pitches and putting himself in a bad situation. This inning started with a 2-out error on Ty Lightly, the shortstop. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike of fastball. 1-1 the count now to Brock Schaefer. This one's scheduled for 9. Here's the pitch. Schaefer hits a slow roller right side. Young gets to it, flips to Yossi covering, and the inning is over. So the Dragons load him up with 2 out, but can't push one across. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 left on. The Dragons have stranded 8 through 7 innings. We head to the 8th, tied at 4. Four head to the 8th at Hobart-Detter Field. Steve Carpenter with you. Nathan Pevich on the controls. Nathan Light on the camera. Dragons will face the middle of the Garden City order in the 8th. Corbin Truslow, Chris Lara, and Darian Burns. Pitch outside from Zach Moore, ball 1. Last time up, Corbin Truslow had a 2-run home run to dead center field that gave Garden City a 4-0 lead in the top of the 6th. Dragons have since rallied. Hard hit ball right side, fielded by Baxley. He'll flip to Moore, covering one away. 4 straight retired by Zach Moore, and that's a big out getting Truslow, who's been on a tear with a couple of hits here in game number 4. Now Chris Lara, the third baseman. Lara 1 for 3. He singled after the Truslow home run. 1 for 13 in a series, 1 for 14 in the series, and it's ball 1 from Zach Moore. Moore worked a 1-2-3 7th. This is his game now. Tied 4-4 in the 8th. The pitch. Fastball for a strike. Now the 1-1. Breaking pitch a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Kind of reset the defense for you. It's changed a few times. Scott Wolverton still behind the plate. Wyatt Divis back to third. Dylan Nedved, who started pitching, is now at short. Sartori at second. Baxley at first. Fastball misses high, and it's 3-1. The outfield stayed the same throughout. Morganson in left, Schaefer in center, and Bull in right. Here's Morris 3-1. High and tight, ball 4. Potential go-ahead run at first base with 1 out as Lara walks, and that'll bring up right fielder Darian Burns. Burns 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He doubled earlier today. Dragons haven't turned a double play in this one. The only double play of the afternoon was the controversial one to end game number 1 on the interference call on center fielder Clint Allen to end it. First walk issued by Moore. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 5 left on for Garden City. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 8 left on for Hutchinson. The Dragons stranded 2 in game number 1, 10 in game number 2, and left 5 on earlier this afternoon. Garden City has stranded a collective 21, now 26 runners on base in this series. So both teams have had plenty of scoring chances. Safe lead over at first. The pitch. Foul back to the screen, and it's 1-1. Dragons looking for their 5th consecutive victory and their 8th consecutive over Garden City in the last 2 years. They won 6 in a row at Williams Stadium in Garden City. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch knocked down by Wolverton, and it's 2-1. Matt Hopkins now throwing in the pen, a right-hander for the Blue Dragons. Here's Moore's pitch. Foul back off to left, 2-2. Moore got 1 strikeout in that spotless 7th inning. Laura's walk stopped a streak of 4 in a row, retired by the right-hander from Moore, Oklahoma. Laura safe lead again at first. Moore's pitch. Called strike 3, inside corner. That thing tailed back in and caught the corner. Got Burns looking. He strikes out for the 3rd time in game number 4. 2 away now for shortstop Ty Lightly. I saw a late movement, thank you. Lightly 0 for 2 with a walk. He's grounded out, struck out, and walked in the 6th. Runner at first, 2 away here in the 8th, tied 4-4. The pitch. High pop, foul territory toward the Garden City dugout. Baxley gives a look, but it's well out of play. Blue Dragons softball will be at home Wednesday. A makeup against Kansas City. We'll have network coverage at 1:45 p.m. The pitch, curveball, sails outside, 1-1. And we'll get to miss that one as I get to celebrate my wedding anniversary. The big 3-1. Yes, Tina's put up with me that long, Shelley. Here's the pitch. Pop foul. Back out of play. Oh, I know. Believe me, we know. Two of my very long-time friends off to my right, and Alan and Shelley Culhanick. "4-4 the score here in the 8th. Laura inches away from first. He walked with 1 out. It's now there with 2. 1-2 pitch. Curve ball. Did it hit him? Nope. It went off the glove of Wolverton, and it's 2-2. Just the way the ball popped out to the right there, I thought it might have clipped the forearm of Lightly, and that's the last thing Zach Moore wanted to do. Now it's 2-2. Here's the pitch. Foul back out of play. Pretty good battle going on between Zach Moore and Ty Lightly. That's 3 2-strike pitches now fouled off. So far, it's been a good outing for Zach as he continues to try to work back from injury. 8-0 as a freshman. He was dynamite, an all-conference pitcher as a freshman. The pitch just missed. Full count. So now we've gone as far as we can go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Chris Lar will be a move on the pitch. First baseman Zach Baxley will not hold him on. Here's the pitch. Popped up, and it'll get out of play to the right once again. That's 5 2-strike pitches fouled off. Now by Lightly. If he gets on, it'll be Russell Cruz, the left fielder. I think Zach and the Dragons would just as soon see him in the 9th inning. Moore comes set. Runner goes, the pitch. Got him swinging on a high fastball, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 over 2 innings for Zach Moore. Garden City, no runs, 1 left. They've stranded 6 through 8 innings. We go to the bottom of the 8th at Hobart-Detter Field. Blue Dragons 4 and the Busters 4. Bottom of the 8th rolls around at Hobart-Detter Field, tied 4-all. Hutchinson and Garden City. The Blue Dragons looking for the series sweep, winning earlier today 5-3. So now Nick Yossi will face Zion Bolin, Scott Wolverton, and a pinch hitter. And Zach Moore is in the 9 slot. Dragons are playing a straight 9 this afternoon with Dylan Nedved started. Ball 1 to Bolin. Zion had the big hit of the game. They got the Dragons back within 1 at 4-3 with a double down the left field line. Scored 2. Breaking pitch from Yossi outside. 2-0 to Bolin. Yossi 1 loss in the series and came in the 9-8 come from behind win on Thursday at Williams Stadium in Garden City. The 2-0 pitch. High ball 3. Dragons need to be very patient in this situation. They've been attacking first pitches all afternoon. It's changed up a little bit the last 2 innings. Now the cripple to Bolin. Right through there for a strike, 3-1. Absolutely no wind today, and that's one of the rare times in this 2018 season I've said that about Hobart-Detter Field. Now the 3-1 to Bolin. Ball 4, leadoff walk to start the 8th. Now Scotty Wolverton will be the batter. Wolvie does have 1 sacrifice bunt this year. And again, the bunt game not among the stronger facets of the game for Hutchinson in 2018. They have struggled to consistently move runners up on the bunt. They have 3 sacrifices in the series, 2 from Logan Sartori and 1 from Zach Baxley. Good speed on the bases and Bolin. Yossi, the lefty, comes set. Not bunting, and Wolvie first pitch swings and fouls it back to the screen. Bolin caught stealing once today on a 1-3-6 move by a left-hander. Now Wolvie shows bunt. Takes outside for a ball, 1-1. Third baseman Chris Laura was charging hard. You've got a chance with the left-hander. You can push it to the right side and maybe beat it out. The pitch. Bunted through it for a strike, and it's 1-2. And the bunt issues for the Blue Dragons continue to be a negative. Wolverton, an RBI single his last time. That tied the game up. Bunting with 2 strikes. He takes it a little bit low, and it's 2-2. See what Jamel Cervantes will do with a 2-2 count. Middle infield, double play depth. The first baseman, Young, holding the runner on at first. Third baseman, Lara, even with the bag ready to charge, now in on the grass. Here's the pitch. Not swinging, and Wolverton strikes out on an off-speed pitch. Wolverton chases a changeup outside. He strikes out for out number 1, and the Dragons continue to struggle with the bunt game. Now, we'll get a pinch hitter. It'll be Garrett Stevens, pinch hitting for the pitcher, Zach Moore. Garrett earlier today went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Checked at 0 for 3. I was reading the wrong line. Struck out once. Garrett in the series now, 0 for 10. So runner at first, 1 away. Now we'll see if Zion Boland will straight steal here. The pitch, not going. Slider low and away, ball 1. Garrett Stevens now hitting .319 for the year, 5 home runs and 30 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Foul back, and it's 1-1. Right now, you'd like to see a little more controlled swing from Garrett. He's taking a big hack there. 1-1, a decent running count. But the Dragons being cautious with the left-hander Yossi. Here's the pitch. Over but low for a ball, 2-1. Dragons heading into the final 3 weeks of the regular season. That's kind of spooky to say. Soft toss over to first by Yossi. Boland back in standing. Hutchinson, the defending Jayhawk West champion. They have work to do if they're going to catch Barton. They trail Barton by 5 games in the loss column. Runner goes, hit and run is on. It's shot down the right field line, but will land foul into the Garden City bullpen. So now 2-2. So Jamel Cervantes put the hit and run on. Now we'll see what happens on 2-2. I don't think Zion will go. Decent lead over at first, being held by Robbie Young. Yossi comes set. Now delivers. Got him swinging, and that's why he didn't go. 2 straight strikeouts for Yossi. Runner first, 2 away, and now it's top of the order in Logan Sartori. Logan 0 for 3. Sartori now 3 for 14 in the series. He's driven in 3, has a couple of doubles. He's been one of the Dragons extremely aggressive on the first pitch. Sartori 1 for 4 in the first game with an RBI double. Yossi steps off. Tight Jayhawk West battle here at Hobart-Detter Field, the series finale. Decent lead over at first by Boland. Good swing by Sartori, and he fouls it straight back for strike 1. Logan a couple of weeks ago, a Jayhawk West player, the Jayhawk Conference player of the week, excuse me. Everything's East-West unless you talk about conference player of the week. The pitch, a little bit low, 1-1. An absolute tear against Barton. They couldn't get him out. 11 hits in that series. 1-1. Inside, nearly hit him, and it's 2-1. Sartori went 1 for 3 in game number 1, had a double and an RBI. 1 for 4 with an RBI in game 2, and 1 for 4 with a double in game number 3. Pitch upstairs, 3-1 to Sartori. Dylan Nedved would be next. We'll see a new Dragon pitcher in the 9th. Will likely be Matt Hopkins. Bolin edging out his lead at first. Yossi's 3-1. Bounces in, now gets past. Let's see if Bolin notices it. Takes the turn, but he'll stay put at second base. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts in the inning for Nick Yossi, and he'll face Dylan Nedved, who struck out his last time. Again, we go back to the fact that all 4 Dragon runs in the 6th were scored with 2 outs. Chris Finnegan is going to go chat with his left-handed side armor. Blue Dragons trying to rally for the second time in this series and get a victory. Down at El Dorado, Butler is pulling away from Colby, now leading 11-6 in the bottom of the 7th, so that's not good news. That would put Butler at 16-8 in the league. Right now, Hutchinson's at 14-10. Now it's 14-6, and they have blown it open. Latest update, going to the top of the 8th. So the Dragons will not get any help from afar and need to take care of business right here in the Salt City. So here's Nedved. Dylan 0 for 4. 2 for 7 on the afternoon. The pitch from Yossi. Swung through a high fastball, nothing in 1. Nedved now 7 for 16 in the series, 3 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs. He would love to increase that total right here. The Dragons are stranded 8 through the first 7 innings. The pitch, swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Now Dylan needs to come up with one of those grinded out type of at bats. Bolin away from second. Sartori away from first. Check of the runner, the pitch. Way high. Ty Barkley had to come out of his stance to keep that one from going back to the screen. What wind there is kind of flickering out to left and left center. Most movement we've seen from the flag all day. The pitch. Got him swinging on a speed pitch, and the Dragons strand 2 more. No runs, no hits, 2 left. We head to the 9th. Hutchinson 4 and Garden City 4. Matt Hopkins takes over on the mound with a 4-4 game into the ninth. Hopkins, a 5'10", 170-pound freshman from Kingfisher, Oklahoma. He gets 8, 9, and 1 here in the Garden City ninth. Cruz, Brunson, and Allen. Zach Moore, 2 scoreless innings. We'll get his full numbers in a moment. Matt, his last time out, a rough one. 1 innings against Dodge City last week. Pitching on the hands of Russell Cruz, and he fouls it off. Cruz, 0 for 3 in this one. Matt Hopkins on for the 11th time, 9th in relief, 1-0 with a 10.69 earned run average. The 0-1. Breaking pitch, lined right to Davis at third, 1 away. More numbers on Matt Hopkins, 16 innings pitched, 27 hits, 27 runs, 19 earned. He struck out 25, but the Bugaboo, 18 walks, and an opponent's batting average of 360 against. Now here's Chris Brunson, 0 for 3, struck out his last time. 1 away here in the ninth of a 4-4 game. Here's the pitch. Low ball 1. Hopkins pitched twice against Dodge City. He had 1 scoreless inning with 2 strikeouts here a week ago yesterday in Hutchinson's 11-2 win. Swing and a miss, 1-1. And then 1 day later, in that 16-3 run rule loss, he allowed 5 hits and 4 earned runs, but he struck out 2 an inning and a third. 1-1, breaking pitch, misses inside, nearly hit Brunson, and it's 2-1. Four in the ninth. Dragons have been out hit 6-5. Ground ball left side off a glove of Davis in the left field. So that's the first hit for Garden City since the Truslow home run in the 6th. 7th hit of the game allowed by Dragon pitching. Now it's 1 on, 1 out for Clint Allen. Brunson with his first hit. 3rd hit of the series. He has 1 stolen base in the series. Hopkins goes over. Right now with that sun still kind of in the, it's actually headed into the northern hemisphere now. We've gotten into spring, but still a tough sun field this time of night. Breaking pitch knocked down by Wolverton. 1 ball to strike the count to Clint Allen. Brunson is 10 of 11 in stolen bases. Hopkins pitch way outside, 2-0. Now the 2-0 from Hopkins. Swinging, and it's fouled back to the screen. So the Buster is showing a bit of aggressiveness. Zach Philbin, the lefty, starts throwing in the pen. Now Hopkins has to go through Allen, Young, and Barclay and Truslow. Here's the pitch. That hit him. Fastball rode right in. And Matt Hopkins knew he let one get away from him. So now it's 1st and 2nd, 1 out. With the left-handed hitting Robbie Young coming to the plate. That'll bring Ryan Schmidt out and quite likely Zach Philbin into the game to create a lefty-lefty matchup. The call has been made. Zach Philbin will come in. He'll make his 2nd appearance of the series, and we'll tell you about him after this break. Zach Philbin, the big lefty from Omaha, comes in with Broncbusters at first and second, and one out. A single by Brunson, and then Clint Allen hit by a pitch. The left-hander Robbie Young coming up, and they bring in the left-hander Zach Philbin. Philbin, a 6'3", 200-pound freshman again from Omaha. Second appearance of the series for Philbin. He threw 2/3 of an innings to get out of a jam at Garden City. That kept the game at 8-4 after the Broncbusters got a hold of Dayton Lane. Philbin, the numbers on him as Robbie Young steps in. 14th appearance, 0-1 with a 5.25 ERA. 12 innings pitched, 12 hits, 10 runs, 7 earned, 8 strikeouts, 9 walks, and opponents hitting .250 against. Here's the pitch, low and outside the slider, and it gets past the catcher, and that lets the runners move up to second and third. A wild pitch charged. And right now the Dragons, the wild pitch. Pitch was in the dirt. So wild pitch charged to Philbin. His third of the year. Now Scott Wolverton will go out and talk. And the infield comes in for the Dragons. So right now, all of the advantages go to Garden City. Second and third, one out, a 4-4 game. The Dragons have stranded 10 through 8 innings. Garden City has stranded 6. Both teams have had their chances. Now Philbin needs to step up in a big way. Get a strikeout or a pop-up or a ground ball right at an infielder. Again, the infield drawn in for Hutch. The pitch. High and tight, nearly hit him. 2-0. One out here in the ninth. Cruz lined out to Wyatt Divis. Brunson singled. Allen was hit by a pitch, and then a wild pitch moved him up to second and third. Ball 3. First base unoccupied, but then you face Ty Barkley with the bases loaded. Dayton Lane throwing again in the Dragon pen. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Bases are loaded with one out. So a single, a hit batter, a walk, and a wild pitch have loaded them up. Middle infield drop back to double play depth for Hutchinson. The corner infielder, Zach Baxley at first, White Dips at third, even with the bag. Ty Barkley 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored. Barkley has driven in 25 this year. Here's the pitch. High chopper to third. Davis Fields comes home for the force, and he dropped it. Wolverton dropped the ball, and the run scores. It'll be a fielder's choice and an RBI, but Garden City takes a 5-4 lead. It was a little bit low, but you can't assume the out. Now Garden City has a 5-4 lead and has a chance to plant many more with the power hitting Corbin Truslow. Ryan Schmidt's going to ask if any kind of interference happened on that play. Don't think there was. But Schmidt wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't pursue that avenue. So Brunson scores on a fielder's choice. Divis really didn't have a chance to take a step wider to make an easier throw. It was a high chopper. It was going to be a bang-bang play no matter what. The throw was a little bit low. Wolverton couldn't hold on. And Brunson slid in with the go-ahead run. The pitch. Pitch is taken low. It's 1-0. So the Dragons self-destructing here in the ninth. Dragons have had 7-5. Here's the pitch. Strike at the knees, 1-1. They have been pitching to Truslow very carefully. Wyatt Davis gave up a 2-run home run to Truslow. That gave Garden City a 4-run lead in their sixth. Now it's 5-4. The pitch. Off speed, swung on a miss, and it's 1-2. Truslow is well ahead of that off speed offering. Right now, Philbin just needs to limit the damage. Middle infield again, a double play depth. And Truslow, who doesn't run well, a double play candidate. Here's the pitch. Slider outside, 2-2. Bag still full of busters with one out. Here's the pitch. Got him swinging. A big second out for the Dragons as Truslow strikes out. Philbin's first punch out of the afternoon. Bases full of busters, 2 away now for third baseman Chris Lahr, who walked his last time up. 1 for 3 for Lahr, a single in the sixth. Now Ryan Schmidt's going to come out of the dugout again. I imagine he's probably going to call for Dayton Lane. Lane was warming up, and it will be Dayton Lane to come in and take over for Zach Philbin. 5-4 Garden City. Dragon pitching change. We'll be back after this break. Dayton Lane try to shut this potential big late inning rally for Garden City down. Garden City leads at 5-4. Lane making his second appearance. He had a 2-inning save in game number 1 today, saving it from Miguel Reyes Jr. Lane on for the 15th time, 1-2 with 4 saves and a 2.88 ERA. He faces Chris Lahr here with bases loaded and 2 away. The pitch, swing and a miss. Ball knocked down by Wolverton right in front. Good slider from Lane. Lane earlier today, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. That's all he gave up. Now has 11 career saves. A 1 pitch. Another slider for a strike. Swing and a miss. 0-2. You throw that same pitch, I think you're back in the dugout. Garden City scoring the go-ahead run on a fielder's choice on a throw home that kicked away from Scott Wolverton from Wyatt Davis. Now time called momentarily. Lane looks in for Wolverton for the sign. Pitching out of the windup, the 0-2. Barely kept alive as Lars he fouls off another slider. Changed the level, though, was in on the hands. So location got changed. Now you want to try that slider low and away, and I think you get him. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 6 left on for Garden City, 4, 5, 0, and 10 left on for Hutchinson. They've left on a small village today. 0-2 from Lane. Tapped foul off the end of the bat. That was the slider low and away, and Lara fought it off. Dragons trying to keep it at a 1-run deficit with 1 at bat to go. Time called again by Lara. First baseman Zach Baxley playing behind the runner at first with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging down. The ball gets past Baxley or Wolverton, and a run scores. It'll be a wild pitch to Lane on a strikeout, and Garden City takes a 6-4 lead. How unfortunate. A wild pitch allows the inning to continue. It was a nasty pitch, and Wolverton couldn't block it, so Allen scores. No RBI. That's 6-4 with Darian Burns the batter. So unfortunate for the Dragons. Now they got to battle up and keep it at a 2-run deficit. Pitch from Lane, swung through and missed. Actually foul, or nope, Scott Wolverton calls time. This 9th inning has just been full of self-inflicted wounds by the Blue Dragons. After Brunson singled, Chris Allen was hit by a pitch that got away from Matt Hopkins. A little wild pitch moved them up to second and third, right? Robbie Young walked. And then the unfinished play on the chopper to third by Divis. That pitch in the dirt stopped by Wolverton, and it's 1-1 to Burns. Now with 2 outs, Lara strikes out, but a pitch in the dirt gets past Wolverton and allows a run to score. Ground ball left side, bobbled by Divis, and he won't have a play, and another run will score. Young scores from third unearned run. It's an error, but Hutchinson now trails it 7-4. First error of the game by the Dragons. No RBI. Right now, that doesn't care if you're a Buster fan. You have a 3-run lead. A very painful top of the 9th, and now shortstop Ty Lightly, the batter. Slider for a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Lane's been 9 pitches, 8 in the strike zone. Hasn't recorded it out, but he's pitched well enough to do so. Dragons haven't executed defensively here in the 9th. Ground ball left side in the hole, and it's bobbled by Nedved, and a run will score. Another error. And this 9th inning is completely unraveled if you're a Dragon. And that'll bring Ryan Schmidt out. It's now 8-4. And Dayton Lane, who deserves much better in this outing, comes out, and you can see the steam coming out of his ears. We'll have another pitching change. It'll be Ryan Junker. We'll tell you about him after this break. Very reminiscent of the Barton game a couple of weeks ago. The Blue Dragons have completely unraveled. Now trailing Garden City 8-4 in this series finale. They trailed 4-0 after 5.5. Tied it up with 4 2-out RBIs. And now with 4 runs scored in the ninth, none of them earned. Ryan Junker tries to stop the bleeding, the redshirt sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska. Junker on for the ninth time, sixth in relief, 2-2 with a 4.79 ERA. He faces Russell Cruz, who was the first batter. He lined out to Davis at third. Junker, the seventh pitcher used. Here's a swing and a miss and a pitch up in the zone, and it's 1-1. Seventh inning against Barton 3 weeks ago. It was very much the same unraveling, for lack of a better term. But the Dragons have committed so many self-inflicted wounds, some that show up on the scoreboard and some that don't. But the total sum is a 4-run inning. Breaking pitch for a strike. Cruz tried to throw the elbow out there and couldn't get it. Now it's 1-2. Dayton Lane didn't retire a batter. He got a strikeout, but didn't retire a batter. It was a wild pitch, allowed a run to score. That made it 6-4. And then 2 more errors. 1-2 pitch. Went around. Wolverton steps on the plate, and that'll do the inning. So Cruz strikes out. He's 2 outs in a 10-batter inning. Garden City sends 4 to the plate on just 1 hit. 2 errors and a couple of other misfires, and the Busters strand 3. Dragons will have 3, 4, and 5 coming up in the ninth, now trailing Garden City 8-4. Ryan Nason, a 5'10", 170-pound freshman from St. John, New Brunswick, Canada, will try to close this out for Garden City, a non-save situation with a 4-run lead entering the bottom of the ninth. Nason will face Divis, Morganson, Baxley, and Schaefer. Nason on for the 14th time, 1-2 with an 11.25 earned run average. Nason's worked 12 innings, allowed 17 hits, 19 runs allowed, 15 earned. He has struck out 8 but walked 15 and allowed 2 hits. So the Dragons need to be very patient as they trail by 4 runs for the second time, but they only have 1 at bat to rally here. Dragons already have the series win in their hip pockets. Here's Wyatt Divis. Divis reached on an error his last time. Hitless on the afternoon. The pitch. Ball 1. Divis 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 6th, reached on an error in the 7th. Divis now in the series 4 for 11. Dragons need base runners. Fastball outside, 2-0. The Buster bullpen, not what it has been in past years, and we'll see if the Dragons can take that to their advantage. 2-0 in there for a strike, although Nick Yossi came in and did the job. 2 innings, 1 hit, allowed no runs. He struck out 4 and walked 3. Dragons were no hit into the 6th inning in this one. Here's the 2-1. Lifts one high to center field and deep. Allen back at the wall. Gone! The comeback starts with a leadoff home run by Wyatt Divis, and it's 8-5. Divis drives his 10th home run out of the yard, 32nd RBI. And that was a moonbeam shot, a high, majestic shot to center field. And is now 8-5. So Divis' 3rd home run of the series pulls the Dragons within 3. Their 6th hit of the game, now Bobby Morganson. Morganson a pair of hits. He seems to be swinging back into stride. That home run earlier today broke a 1-for-16. Took a shot toward left and fouled it off. Nothing in 1. Nason allows his 3rd home run of the year. The tying run still in the dugout. Dragons still need base runners. One hopper to the second baseman, Brunson. And Morganson's retired, one away here in the 9th. Oh, hit ball, but it was a one hopper right at the Garden City second baseman. Now Zach Baxley, the batter. Baxley walked his last time, 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. Baxley in the series now 3 for 11. Hasn't had an extra base hit yet. Dragons are down to their final 2 outs. Pitch taken a little bit low, ball 1. And Nason a -1 to 2 strikeout to walk ratio. I'm sure the Dragons are aware of that. 1-0 pitch is lifted well to left field. Going back is Cruz. It's high off the wall. Baxley just misses a home run, but he pulls in with a 1-out double. Hits are now tied 7 apiece. That will bring the tying run to the on-deck circle. Brock Schaefer will be the batter. Schaefer 1 for 4. An RBI double and a run scored in the 6th. Chris Finnegan makes the slow walk. There is action in the Garden City pen. Brock Schaefer now 7 for 13 in the series, a double, a home run. And the call to the pen is made, and this now becomes a save situation for the new pitcher coming in. Nason gives up a home run to Divis and pitches 1/3. And we'll tell you about the new Buster pitcher after this break. The big right-hander out of Lakin, Kansas, Ryder Yakel makes his 3rd appearance of the series, 2nd of the afternoon for Garden City. Yakel worked 2 innings earlier today in Hutchinson's 5-3 win over Garden City. Allowed 1 hit, 1 earned run. He struck out 1 and walked 1, facing 8 batters. 3 appearances in the series now for Yakel. He's pitched 3 innings, allowed that same 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, struck out 2 and walked 1. He has allowed a home run. Dragons with a Divis home run has pulled within 8-5 here in the bottom of the 9th. 1 out, and Zach Baxley just doubled to prompt the pitching change. Yakel is the 5th Garden City pitcher. Catrone went 5 2/3. Douglas 1/3 of an inning. Yossi 2/3. Nason 1/3. So the Dragons trying to make another dramatic comeback. They're comeback kids by nature. That's been the nature of this program ever since Kyle Cricks took over in 2005. Righty-lefty matchup, it'll be Brock Schaefer. Schaef's had a nice series. 7 for 13. And an RBI double and a run scored in the 6th here, 1 for 4. Right now, Baxley at second is meaningless. Tying run in the on-deck circle for Hutchinson. The pitch from Yackel is outside, ball 1. Dragons need at least another base runner to bring the tying run to the plate, or things could get absolutely wacky. And a 9th inning comeback on Thursday. That was from only one run down. Schaefer pops it up down the left field line, giving chase or 3 runners, and it's dropped in foul territory. It was a foul ball. It was a foul ball. It'll just go as a foul ball, no error. All shortstop Ty Lightly and left fielder Russell Cruz nearly collided. They're fortunate to be okay. So now it is 1-1 the count to Brock Schaefer, who has new life. The long run for everybody. Third baseman Chris Lara really never picked up. He kind of veered off the play. Lightly and Cruz nearly collided. Outfield straight away and bunch toward the middle for Schaefer. Fastball low, 2-1 to Schaefer. On deck is Zion Bolin. And he represents the tying run. Zion has had the flair for the dramatic this year. Strike at the letters, upper portion of the zone, and it's 2-2 now to Schaefer. This is a save situation for Yackel. Garden City has 4 saves, none by Yackel. Now the 2-2. Line to right field, but caught. Burns, it was hit right at him and didn't get any elevation, so Schaefer hits it right on the screws, but right at the right fielder Burns, and the Dragons are down to their final out. Now Zion Bolin, who's no longer the tying run. That is in the on-deck circle, likely for Scotty Wolverton. So Wolverton will be the tying run, but Bolin needs to get on. Bolin a 2-run double in the 6th. That pulled the Dragons within 4-3. He's walked twice. 1 for 2 for Bolin. It needs to get on base any way he can now. Dragons down to their final out. Fastball misses high, ball 1. If this were the old series format, the 4 games over 2 days, you likely wouldn't see Yackel in 3 of the 4 games. The pitch. Fastball in for a strike, 1-1. The Dragons have stranded 10 on base in this game. And that's not so much what's going to drive Ryan Schmidt crazy if this game ends up being a loss. Off speed, Bolin swings through and misses, and now the Dragons are down to their final strike. It's going to be the misfiring is defensively in the 9th inning. Not just defensively, but on the mound. If the Dragons want to make a run in May, they need to shore that up. 1-2 pitch. Slider misses low and away, 2-2. Dibbs led off the inning with a home run, his 10th of the year. That made it 8-5. Again, the series wins in the hip pocket of the Blue Dragons. 2-2 pitch. Lifted to right. Burns on the run. He's got it in Garden City. Wins the finale by the score of 8-5. The Blue Dragons win the series 3-1, but Garden City snaps a 7-game losing streak to the Dragons and a 6-game in-conference losing streak. And Hutchinson will now rebuild. They will be out of conference for the next couple of weeks. We're going to wrap it up real quickly. Be back right after this. Dragons lose the finale 8-5. Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field, Blue Dragon post-game show. Steve Carpenter with you. It's a split on this frigid Saturday afternoon. Garden City rallied to win the fourth game 8-5 with a 4-run ninth full of self-inflicted wounds by the Blue Dragons. Hutchinson won the first game 5-3. Blue Dragons are now 21-16 overall, 13-11 in conference play. Garden City strengthens its hold on 8th place in the West. Now 20-21 overall, 6-14 in league play. Here are the totals for the just completed game. For the Broncbusters, 8 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 9 left on base. For the Blue Dragons, 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 11 left on. The winning pitcher, Nick Yossi, he improves to 2-3. Matt Hopkins takes the loss. He is now, let me make sure, he is 1-1. And Ryder Yakel gets the save, his first of the year. Time of ball game, 3 hours and 3 minutes. Garden City led this thing 4-0 after 5.5 when the Blue Dragons rallied for 4 in the 6th inning. The Dragons got 3 2-out knocks. An RBI double from Brock Schaefer, a 2-run double from Zion Bolin, and an RBI single from Scott Wolverton. That tied it up at 4. Game went to the 9th, tied at 4, when Garden City took advantage of every Blue Dragon error they could throw at them. Started with a single by, or 1-out single by Brunson. Then Clint Allen was hit by a pitch. They moved up on a wild pitch. And after a walk to load the bases to Robbie Young, Ty Barkley hits a high chopper to third. Wyatt Dibbs' throw home was a little bit low and not handled by Scott Wolverton. That allowed the first run to score. Then a wild pitch allowed the second run to score. After a couple of strikeouts, a wild pitch on a strikeout from Dayton Lane to Laura, that allowed a run to score and kept the inning going. The inning should have been over at that point. Then 2 runs scored on back-to-back errors by the left side of the infield, one by Dibbs, one by Nedved, and the Dragons give up a 4 spot in the 9th. Wyatt Dibbs hits a home run to lead off the bottom of the 9th, but that's all they could do. And Hutchinson drops the series finale 8-5, but they do have the series victory in their hip pocket. Now 21-16 overall, 13-11 league play. Garden City now 20-21, 6-14 in league play. Dragons next in action this Monday afternoon, 5 p.m. a single game against NOC Tonkawa. Danny Steckline will have the call for you there. And then Hutchinson will be at Barton on Tuesday, the non-conference game against the Barton Cougars. Barton Video will pick up that broadcast. Dragons will be in action next weekend at Longview, and they're Jayhawk West bye, so we will not have coverage of those games. So that's going to do it. Steve Carpenter from Hobart-Detter Field reminding you the final score of game number 2, Garden City 8, Hutchinson 5. The Dragons won the first game 5-3 as Miguel Reyes picks up his 5th win of the year, Dayton Lane's 4th save. Dragons take the series 3-1. For Nathan Light, Nina Pevich, and Brandon Sam, Steve Carpenter from Hobart-Detter Field, we will talk to you again Monday afternoon. Until then, so long, everybody.